Okay, we're going to go on to Kathalee James, the director of our wonderful Friends of the Pontiac Park System. Hi, Katha.
Hi, Monica. I'm not a director. Clarification.
Okay.
There are a lot of people in the city who are under the illusion that I direct. However, I am an unpaid community volunteer retiree.
Okay, well,
So I'm not a director. I'm not a director. However, I am the founder and president of the Friends of the Pontiac Parks Association, which was founded in 2012 to try to assist the city, work with the city to improve our parks. And so we have been working with them since 2012. We've made some great strides and progress with the parks in the city of Pontiac that we're very proud of. And we're just, continuing to work in concert with the city to try to improve our parks. We have a long way to go because our parks do not represent the way that parks should look. Pontiac is in the middle of one of the wealthiest counties in the country. However, when you visit Pontiac parks and then you go to Auburn Hills, you go to Waterford, you go to Clarkston and other areas bordering Pontiac, you will find a stark difference in the quality of those parks, the amenities of those parks, the care and maintenance of those parks. So we have a long way to go, but we have accomplished a lot. And what I want to talk about today, after talking with Monica, I wasn't sure of what the call was about, but I didn't realize that you kind of have an expanded outlook on, Pontiac and focusing on the city of Pontiac for the Phoenix Center. So I kind of decided to kind of narrow my comments down to 3 areas that I consider strong possibilities for Pontiac, because we're here thinking possibilities. We're not thinking realities, we're thinking possibilities. And so I want to present 3 possibilities that our group is looking at and hopefully, working towards. Before I say it, I want to preface it by saying that the lack of unity in our community is costing the city quite a bit. And Deming said, the guy that the father of quality, made the statement years and years ago, the real cost of quality is unknown and unknowable. And that's kind of how I feel today about the cost of being disunified, when you can't work together. There's a cost. And that cost, I want to preface it, that cost is unknown and unknowable. So with that preference, there are 3 things that have great possibilities for the parks in the city. Number 1, our 2024 Parks and Rec Master Plan. That plan is one of the best that we have ever had. It was prepared by Kristen Whitfang at Oakland County Parks, master planner. And it really has the potential to be the guidepost for us going into this next decade. Pontiac currently is working under a master plan that expired in 2016. We currently do not have a relation with the state of Michigan Department of Natural Resources, because in order for us to have a working relationship with the DNR, we have to have a current 5-year master plan in place that has been approved by the DNR. The current master plan expired in 2016. Therefore, we are ineligible to apply for DNR grants. Wow. And we will be ineligible until such time as the city council approves the 2024 Parks and Recreation Master Plan, and that plan is then forwarded to the DNR for approval. So the possibilities here is that we really need to focus to do whatever we can to encourage our leaders to get that plan approved. I don't know what it is going to take. I'm not going to speak to that or address to that, but what I'm here is to say is we're currently operating under a plan that expired in 2016. We have no ability to be able to get back some of our own tax dollars from the state to help build up our parks. And so that's a concern that I feel that our leaders should be looking at very strongly. Secondly, Oakland County. It's already been brought up that the city of Pontiac is the county seat for Oakland County. Oakland County Parks has recently announced that they have a millage on the ballot on the November election that's coming out. They are asking for a slight increase in the Parks and Rec millage. Here again is amazing possibilities for the city of Pontiac. Were we on the same page? If we were on the same page, we are a city in the midst of the wealthiest county. We are the county seat, yet we have no county park. There is no discussion about a county park. There is really no direct administration of any of our parks by the county. And so really, when you look at what the residents of the city of Pontiac have gotten out of the Parks and Rec millage that benefits county parks, of which we have none in the city of Pontiac. That is something that every leader in the city of Pontiac at this point ought to be looking at that and saying, how can we change that? There are definitely possibilities here. What are they? Number one, we ought to be requesting they build a county park in the city of Pontiac, because the statistics and the records show that Pontiac residents do not utilize county parks. It's even at the water park, the participation of Pontiac residents is almost minute. We need a county park in the city of Pontiac. And really, we need for the county to come to the table, with doing something in this city. But unless we are unified, unless we understand, and we're all on the same page to understand that we absolutely positively have a right to expect for them to provide some benefit to the city of Pontiac if they want us to approve a millage. So that is number two. That is the possibility that I want to talk about. Third possibility concerns the Galloway Lake Park, which is located on Telegraph. It's a beautiful little park, absolutely the physical space. If anybody drove out there and just looked at how beautiful it is, one of the most beautiful spots in Pontiac. It's attached to a little lake there. The park, everything that was there was a baseball diamond. There were tennis courts and things that were there back in the 50s and the 60s. Those have been torn out, and basically the space is empty except for a building that the water resource people built. We have had conversation with District 5. This park is located in District 5 with the District 5 Council. And we have been working with them to try to do a plan for that park. Sorry, I haven't been trying to pull up the, thank you, Monica, for showing that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, this shows you, this is what the drive into the park looks like. And you turn off of Perry Street and you drive up this drive and you're like, my gosh, is this Pontiac? It's absolutely gorgeous. And yet it's totally undeveloped. And because of the Amazon folks coming in and the political activity and of that the Harrington Hills community, they have a very strong, very active neighborhood association over there. We have talked about what do we need to do to get this area developed, to get a development plan, because first you got to have a plan. And so we have approached the funders, the funders group that have come into the city of Pontiac and that are offering to help, the Bomber Group and others that are part of that funders group. We have presented them with the information on what the District 5 has done so far. We have been working with Christian Whitfang at the county to try to develop some plans, some ideas of what could be done out here. But the next step is we need a formal plan done. And that plan will take from $7,000 to $10,000 just to do the plan. Possibly could be even, because it's a big park, possibly it could even go beyond that. What she's showing are ideas that could, these are things that could happen in the park. That last slide is actually the pavilion there. The Auburn Hills Riverside Park has a beautiful little pavilion with water sprouts coming out. They opened it to be a free space last summer, but when they opened it, there were so many Pontiac families. Can you slide that up just a little bit more, that last slide that says park amenities?
Oh, yep.
The last slide.
This one?
No, the last one that was showing just a little bit. I just wanted you to pull it up a little. The next one from that.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, I got it. It's just a lag here. Sorry.
Yeah. There it is. So that's Riverside Park in Auburn Hills. And they opened this, I mean, and it's not much. It's a small pavilion. It's an area where people can sit, where you can have maybe a little mini concert. It's got water sprouts coming up. That's it. They opened that to be a free space for their residents. There were so many people coming from Pontiac, you know, bringing their kids, wanting to use it. It was open last summer. They actually had to start charging $1 a piece to use, to be able to play in the water sprouts, you know. Unbelievable. But these are the kinds of amenities that our residents, our children, our families deserve to have right in this city. And it's so doable. It is so doable. But the cost of disunity, see, the cost of disunity, not coming together, not working together. This is why we don't have anything like this right now. So we are working to try to pull together a coalition of residents from Harrington Hills and from District 5 so that we can approach this funders group with the request to fund the plan. And once we get the plan, the thought is we are going to take that plan to Amazon. And we're going to working with Amazon. If Amazon would come together with the funders coalition, we might be able to, in fact, get the plan funded. The plan, first we want to get the plan done. But once the plan is done and we know what we want to do, we're going to take that to Amazon and ask them, you know, to give us part of that money to be able to fund what we want to do out there. So it's going to be, these are possibilities that I'm talking about. I'm excited about all of them because all of them offer so much opportunity for the residents of the city of Pontiac to be able to move forward. And I want to, can you show, let me share the screen for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. You're able to. You should be.
Okay, let me, I'm trying to get out of here. Let's see how.
Screen sharing, maybe at the top.
Is that? No, I don't want to hide that.
It'd be green.
I'm trying to get my screen back. Okay. Or to kind of make the screen smaller so I can get to my computer.
At the top, you can.
Exit. Okay, I see it. All right.
Little green.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Should be allowed to do that. If not, let me know.
Okay. Can you see that what I'm showing?
No.
Okay. You know, I'm not.
Did you click on screen share?
Oh boy.
Take your time. Take your time.
Okay, where is exit minimize?
Screen share.
Okay, where is screen share?
You'd be on the toolbar for Zoom. You should see
Side by side.
You should see it along the bottom if you run your cursor along the bottom.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Thank you. While the other participant is sharing. It says you cannot start screen share while the other participants are sharing.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought I.
Hold on.
Okay. There you go.
There we go.
Okay.
I thought I enabled
Now share
that.
your screen.
Okay. Can you see it now?
No.
Okay. You know what? I don't think I know how to do this. I've never walked through sharing the screen before.
No worries. If you want to email me anything, we can get it onto the board.
Well, I think you already have it. I sent you the Wakanda Play Anywhere Plaza, the little drawing.
I must have it, yeah.
You must have it. Let's see if you can.
And I sent all the pictures in one email.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Yeah, I'll just do it through here. So go ahead and I'll get it up through my phone.
It's the concept and what we were trying to do is submit something. Friends of Pontiac Parks was planning on submitting something for the oh my gosh, Kaboom, for the Kaboom Play Anywhere competition.
Huh?
And I started it, but just decided not to go through with submitting it because of, and again, you know, we're talking about possibility thinking, but I just got to thinking that there are just so many issues going on right now with the Phoenix Center that I just opted to not even try to submit this. So I wouldn't have done anything with it, except that when I talked to Monica, she told me that they had worked with the city to try to submit something. So I wanted to show you this. It is, if you think of the little cone there that says Phoenix Center right there where the bus stop, what I'd like to do, what I think is missing in so many of the plans, is that you do have to have a focus, something that will draw people. And I just told you the story of the what happened there. Now this is facts that happened last summer with the Riverside Park, and you saw the picture of how small, you know, that little area was. No big deal, just little water sprouts coming out of the water. They were so overwhelmed with people, they had to start charging. And what I think is missing downtown is you've got to put features there that will draw people, will draw families. And there's nothing like a fountain and a spray coming up out of the ground to draw people. And so that is going to be the focal. It's a Afrocentric artwork fountain area there with sprouts all around and seating all around. And built off from that, you've got tables and chairs, you've got container stores and murals that are painted against the concrete there where the Phoenix Center. You've got murals against painted on that concrete, and container stores kind of in the mix. And along where the fountain would be, we have concession stands, container concession stands where people could get a coffee, could get something to eat and sit, watch the water. You've got some greenery there in the back alongside, and then along there where the senior house is, where the senior citizens building start, along that side, there would be seating, like concrete seating for like a little stage, and a container stage area with some drums and stuff that, people, musicians can go out there, kids can enjoy, but just could be used for multiple purposes. So you're creating a space that is going to draw in people, because container stores don't make any sense if you don't have a draw for the people. And so I'm calling this vision Wakanda Play Anywhere Plaza. And we would paint the stairs with Afrocentric theme. And so the whole space would have like a very strong Afrocentric focus. And I love the idea. I came very close to submitting it, but opted not to, because of the cost of disunity, because I just felt like, maybe it's just, not a good time to try to do something like this. So that's the end of my presentation. That's all I've got. So if anyone has a question, I'll try to answer that.
Anyone with a question about our park system in Pontiac and
the Wakanda Plaza
and the role of parks in general, with considering public health and the increased demand with in our COVID era?
I more so have a comment, if that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
A couple points that I took away. I think the plaza is fabulous. I think it will be a great opportunity for families to be able to have space again. We know that families have been, their space has been decreased, like being able to go out and actually do things outside of the home and learn and, have hands-on activities is very difficult. And there's a model here in Chattanooga that, you know, kind of put me in that mindset. And, you know, the problem is always, you know, how do we make money from this for a lot of people who are into capitalist type of, you know, you can't call it an invention, but future business is going to depend on how much money people can be made with these public places. So how we keep them open for an extended period of time is the most important thing. So I like the way that is situated, but I know that at the aquarium here in Chattanooga, they've added a part onto the side of the aquarium that allows kids to run and jump and play and splash, but it also doesn't require them to touch anything physical. So that's kind of like COVID friendly, which is a little bit different than having like railing and a lot of things that needs to be cleaned. So we know a lot of parks and things like that, they've been telling people to stay out of public parks because they're you know, host for germs, swings and slides and all the things that we traditionally played with immediately have to change. So here, like I said, in Chattanooga, on the side of the aquarium, if you look it up, like they took the initiative to go ahead, and I mean, it didn't have anything to do with COVID, but it was a way to bring people to the aquarium without having them spend money, to encourage them to spend money in that place. So I think the general idea here is to bring people who could want to participate in paid activities, but giving them something for free is always like a huge plus. In Memphis, at the zoo, they actually made it illegal and they criminalized parents who brought their children there in swimsuits to swim in the pond at the top of the zoo. I remember being a child and, you know, the police would circle around the zoo and would make sure no one was jumping in there. But that is a very militant way of thinking for placemaking, right? To say that kids aren't allowed to get in a pond that seems to be publicly accessible, but to know that, you know, people who are capitalists put the pond there to draw people to bring money, right? The same thing as in Chattanooga, where they're playing with places. They're playing with water play, which is what it sounds a lot similar to, you know, the project that's being done here. But in that way, they almost cut people off from being able to swim, play, participate, which inevitably drew people away from the zoo. So we started to see the zoo's money decline in, you know, 4, 5, 6 years. As a child growing up in Memphis, we watched people stop going to the zoo because nobody wants to feel like they're being criminalized for, you know, letting their kids, you know, play in water. So it's two different perspectives, and Nashville has also taken on the same approach. But of course, we're talking about a public zoo. We're talking about a public aquarium where there are government entities attached to these larger projects. But if you take that back onto a micro scale instead of a macro scale, building relationships, something I learned at the company lab while I was working downtown in the innovation district, building vital relationships that will contribute to the overall expansion of smaller ideas. So this idea as it is right now in its inception is at seed stage, right? So it's like a bud, it's being planted underneath the ground, but that water and the sunlight is really going to come from that community of partners who are really invested in not only creating space, but, you know, y'all thinking about ahead of time how they can make money for their investment. I know as a socialist, I always think about these grandiose plans of, you know, how people should just invest their money. They should want to, if you are raking in $3 million a month, you should want to put up at least $50,000 for a community project. But I think the silver lining in all this, and I'll wrap it up, is creating a place and creating a conversation where socialists get the places and the spaces that they need, and capitalists and inventors and investors get their ROI. So the overall goal is to make money for your organization as well, you know, and those other guys. Like, we're the little guys, so we just always think, oh my God, it would be so cool if this happened, but we deserve money for our things. So to think of a way that you can bring people to an attraction, and maybe the idea is bigger than, you know, a cafe, but it more so then becomes like a vending machine type of where people can buy snacks or they can, you know, get things out of a vending machine. Like maybe the idea behind economic equity becomes greater because you see the need in just people being able to be brought there to a space. So I hope that makes sense. I don't know how I can connect those dots more. I'm trying to get it all out, but that is a huge part.
We always rely on you, Bree, to do that heavy lifting of connecting those dots, and that was a wonderful summary. And we're gonna go. We've got to shift now to. Thank you so much, Kathalee.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the chance to share.
Our parks are so incredibly important, and we're going to shift now to our state representative, Brenda Carter.
Hi.